Hey, what's up guys? It's Pedro from NoobCoder.com, and in this tutorial we are going to be setting up our environment so we'll be able to code in Java. Now in order to do that, we're going to have to download a couple of things which I'm going to show you now, so you will need an internet connection. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to type Java JDK. Now what JDK stands for is the Java Development Kit. And like the name implies, it allows you to develop in Java. So after we get here, I'm going to click download. It's going to take me here. And now what I want to do is I want to accept the license agreement. Otherwise it won't let you download. And you can see all the operating systems here. So click the one that corresponds to your operating system. And in my case, it's going to be Windows 64-bit. So I'm just going to click here to download. Now, I've already downloaded this. I'm going to show you what file it gave me. It gives me this file right here. And this is pretty much pretty straightforward. All you do is double click and click next for everything it says, and it's going to install the Java JDK on your system. Now, the second thing we're going to need is called an IDE, and that is just gonna enable us to develop Java applications a lot easier. So I'm just gonna type Eclipse IDE, and Eclipse is a Java IDE, so there are a ton of IDEs out there. We're gonna be using Eclipse throughout this tutorial. There's something called NetBeans. There's also JetBrains also has their own version of an IDE, so we're just going to use the Eclipse version. Click here, and I'm going to say download 64-bit. And I'm going to download again. So I already downloaded this, and you can actually take a look here. It's going to give you this installer. So I'm just going to double click this installer. Get it running anytime now. And it's going to give you a bunch of things to install. The only thing we are going to be using is the Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So this is going to download the Eclipse IDE SE, which stands for Standard Edition, which is more than enough for what we are going to be doing during this tutorial series. So click this, download. It's going to tell you everything, pretty straightforward. And next you are going to, after you're done with that installer, you are actually going to be given this short link to it. So let's double click this. And we don't need a browser anymore, so I'm just going to exit out of this. So you're going to get a little screen like this. And basically what a workspace is where you are going to be saving your Java projects. So by default, it's just going to be your username and followed by workspace. So I'm just going to click use this as default and do not ask again. If you do not click this, you are always going to be prompted for this every time you open Eclipse. So it's totally up to you. If you don't want it to be saved here, you want it to be saved somewhere else, you could click browse. I'm going to click OK. Let's wait for this to load. Alright, you should get something like this. I ran this program before, so maybe you should get like a little welcome screen here. All I did was exit out of this. So just exit out of this if you haven't already. You don't need the welcome screen there. And now we are going to create our very first Java project. So I'm just going to click File, New, Java Project. And I'm going to call it Hello World. So I'm just going to click Finish. And now you can see that it created a new folder for us. Click that icon, go to Source, SRC stands for Source. I'm going to right click, New, Class. And I'm just going to call this main, and that's the name of the class. Now, I don't expect any of you guys to know what a Java class is or what we're doing. The whole point of this is just to test to see if everything is working on our system. So I'm going to click create a public static void main, and then I'm just going to hit finish. And now you're going to see that it's generated some code for us. And now we are just going to print out hello world onto the console. So we're just going to say system.out.println or ln. And now we're just going to type between these quotation marks, hello world. Now on my keyboard, I'm saying Control S to save. And I'm just going to hit the run button, which is this little play icon. And if you take a look down here, during our console window, you can see that it actually prints out hello world. So if you got up to this point, you have successfully set it up your environment in order to be able to develop in Java. If you are not getting this and you're getting errors, I advise you to relook at this tutorial. You do need to install the JDK first and then install Eclipse IDE in the same exact way that I have. So I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe.